Hey detailers, podcast sponsor Joe here from Autofiber Australia. As pro detailers, we are all about using the highest quality products for our customers when it comes to compounds, chemicals, and ceramic coatings. But what about microfiber? Are you using cheap towels that get used once and then tossed into the bin? You need to try out our amazing Autofiber range of microfiber. Seriously, it is the best stuff going around. Use our exclusive podcast code 15DDUP and get 15% off when you purchase any of our premium Korean or Chinese made microfiber. We have a wide range of products that are tailor-made to last a long haul, so you get the best value for money and your customers will appreciate it. Go to autofiber.com.au or find us on Instagram to make your purchase and check out our range. Now back to the podcast.
Welcome to the Detailing Down Under podcast, the place for everything auto detailing in Australia right now. Here's your host, Dale Guthrie.
G'day and welcome to the Detailing Down Under podcast. I'm your host, Dale Guthrie. Back into it once again. So hope you've enjoyed our last couple of episodes, which is in regards to hiring employees and a bit of business development there. The two-part series, so I hope that everyone got something out of that. It was very fun to do with Joe and Glenn. They spoke very well and very experienced in their areas. So if you feel free and want to know more, reach out to both of them guys. They'll be more than happy to explain a bit more in depth if need be. And we hope to plan to do a little bit more of that sort of style of episodes coming up as well. So a little bit of planning around and who we can get on. And so I thought that was a really good one. So, and got a good bit of feedback as well from a few people. So they definitely loved it. So if you haven't heard already, we have a new supporter of the pod. So we've got Traction Flooring on board. So they reached out to us. They're only sort of new, probably new to the industry, but new to Australia. So they've brought in some new flooring. So I know everyone's going to say it's just another tile company, but obviously what they use in that tiles is different to what others are out there. And so they do good quality products there with the flooring. So I know we all love Flash Detail Studios. So I think if anyone's looking to do some renos or redo a new studio altogether, that'd be worth checking out. So we had some people reach out to me and said they're looking into getting some quotes done. So, but yeah, they've got a bit of a 10%. I know it's not huge, but yeah, it's better than nothing. So we thank Traction Flooring for their support. So look them up and see what they can offer as well. So it's really cool to have them on. I think that's a good additive to any studio, which is good. So, but anyway, this week we've got a really good one. It was quite funny how we chatted this guy. So he's a fellow bush wraps installer, and I reached out to him a few weeks ago just about some other things, actually completely off topic. He does some good promotions when he does events, and I caught one of his banners and I, where the hell did you get that from? How'd that work? And he helped me with some details of that, and I got some made. So I'll stop talking and introduce Jack from Finer Detail Industries. So afternoon, mate. How you going?
Good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Very good. So it was thanks for taking the time out of your day. I know you were just fairly busy there before. So
yeah, very busy, as we always are.
Yeah, I think everyone's busy, which is good to hear and see. So, but I brought you in as Finer Detail Industries, but you were telling me you've got a fair bit else going on, and I already knew about one of your products. So the products you distribute. So you're a distributor for Auto Triz, and you've got a bit else going on as well.
Yeah, so Finer Detail Industries, I started that with my partner just under 7 years ago now. We didn't really know where it was going to go. As I'm a panel beater spray painter by trade, I was kind of just over the traditional quick bath car, finish it, send it to a car show. I always want to take cars to the next level. And my partner's always been into cars too. So for us to get into a detailing shop, it was just the ideal world. It kind of, I'll get into it later how it come about, but it was pretty cool. And yeah, at the end of last year, I've been using Autotriz ceramic coatings now for probably just on 6 years. And I got the chance to become the distributor. So yeah, I grabbed that by its balls, and yeah, I've taken on distributorship for Autotriz. We've grown from say 2 active installers to just under 30 installers this year so far. It's not a brand I'm going to push out like, I'm not going to say other brand names, but it's not going to be everywhere. I still want to keep it exclusive. And from that, I've also got Vertec PPF or Autotriz own, so I've got the distributorship for that as well. But I haven't done a lot with yet. Just respect with Maddie from Bush Wraps, as we do a lot of that as well. And also I own FTI Detail Supplies, which is our chemical supply range to our customers, and we also have a professional range in that as well.
Wow, you have a fair bit going on, which I wasn't aware of at the time. And then to me, you were just a fellow bush wraps installer, and we'd chat on their chat group, so that was good. So
Yeah.
how long were you panel beating for?
So I was panel beating. So I started panel beating when I was 15. The day I turned 15, I left school. And I'm 28 now. So
Yeah.
I left. Yeah, so I'd say 6 years I was panel beating.
Yep.
Yeah, panel beating, and it was dual trade with spray painting. And I still do a lot of panel beating and spray painting. We actually incorporate that into our business now. Like just today, I was at the paint shop for 4 hours this morning. And yeah, so we still do a lot of, paint repairs, touch ups. I don't advertise it because we're too busy with everything else. But all the people who know what we do, we will still do that for our good clients.
Yeah. That'd work hand in hand with a lot of stuff. Like if someone's got some damage, or they say they're going to get it repaired elsewhere, you could say we could do the whole lot, literally.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What because that was where I started in my industry, straight out of school with that. So, did you get the shits with that, with the way it's gone or way it was heading? Because
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I love, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm full Australian, but everyone says part Scottish, but everyone said I'm Maltese because I just love working. Like a 14-hour day every day is, just as just a normal day. I'll be up at 4 a.m. ready to work. I'm pumped for the day, and I've always been like that. Now that I've got kids, I try and be home by 6 o'clock for dinner. That's what, like, a rule I try and do at least 2 days a week, 3 days a week. It is a bit tricky because I do a lot of interstate traveling to train people for Autotriz as well. But definitely with how panel beating's gone with the new cars and the rules and regulations on repairing them, it's just gone silly, really. Definitely.
It was getting nuts, and the insurance companies were screwing you down, and it was hectic when I left, and that's sort of why I lost interest in it. So
yeah, see, we do a lot of insurance work now, but when you're in a detailing shop and like you have to do an overspray removal job, or paint's been spilled in a car and you go for insurance, I feel like we actually get a win back because we can actually charge them not ripping them off, but we can charge them the money what we need to do the job, because they can't compare, to another 10 shops. So it actually works really well.
Yeah. What sort of percentage would that be in your market, like with the painting or the repair side? Is there much percentage of that of your daily work or weekly work?
No, I probably start paint once to twice a week. And I'm not like doing resprays. I mean, I just did a respray on the weekend actually for a good mate of mine. But I normally like for instance, I paint a lot of bonnets or just small repairs on cars, bumper bars, stuff like that. And because we do like a lot of blackout kits on cars, I will wrap stuff. But I'm a big believer of, obviously, paint's going to last a lot longer. But it just depends on the customer and what they want to spend as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, and then the Autotriz side, how did that? How did you end up falling into that?
Yes. So, long story short, Autotriz has been around Australia for quite some time. The previous distributor, not going to shame him, anything like that. He was a good person when he was distributing. I don't know the exact backstory, but we just weren't getting stock anymore. There was no stock in the country. And all I knew, he wasn't distributed anymore. There's a little bit more I know, but I don't want to get into, anything like that on the podcast.
It's all good.
And I contacted Autotrues because I got to a stage where I was like, I didn't know what to do because I've used like I'm certified and I've used like say for instance I've used FenLab, I've used Glossip, I've used Fireball, I've used IGL, I've used Geon, I've used G Technique. I pretty much use 99% of the bigger range of coatings in Australia, and I really like a lot of other brands, but Autotrues to me I just feel it just has everything what I like user friendly, and I honestly believe it's the best coating in the world. I mean, it could be biased, but I've been using it now for a long time. Um, so when it was just at the stage where, yeah, I was jumping ship from one company to another, and customers, I'm telling customers each week we got a new coating, and it was at a really shit stage for about 6 months. Eamon from IGL actually helped me out, and I was using IGL for a while. And look, no problems with the product at all. But then when Autotrues contacted me from Malaysia, well, that's where their manufacturing is, but a lot of it comes from Germany as well. And said I could be the distributor. I let Eamon know, honest, straight up front, this is what I'm doing. He wished me the best, and he sort of said, there's a bit of pizza, a slice of pizza for everyone in the state. So good luck with it. And no hard feelings with Eamon. It was really good with it actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I wasn't ready to be a distributor. It wasn't. I never in my business. I never thought I'll be a distributor. Like it's just something I never wanted to. No, I didn't want to do. I just never thought about it. So when they said you've got to come up with this many funds in this many days, minimum buy quantity, full contract for 5 years, it was a pretty scary moment. Honestly, went and got a credit card with my partner. We had to put on a credit card. Like it was like, yeah, and it was a scary moment, and and just work our asses off to pay it back. And now we've got a lot of stock, and obviously now that we've got plenty of installers, it's totally fine. And we are starting to move it. It is a bit of a slow, steady race. Yeah, it's just a big learning curve for me, really.
Yeah, because I think you've probably got a bit to compete with. I think with everyone, from what we all use different brands, and so there's probably people are a bit hesitant to switch, and yeah, probably just think it's another coating. So
Yeah, exactly. Like 100%. I did, and I'm never like when I go train shops, I will never bag, the brand they're using there. Like every brand has their market. Autotrues is definitely more of a the higher end of the niche market, but we do have the cheaper coatings to compete with like G Technique and stuff. If someone wants that side of coating, another really good thing of Autotrues is it's got like we have everything in Autotrues. So we have obviously all our detailing chemicals for DIY and professional range. We have all our buffing compounds, buff pads, PPF gels, and then obviously they own Vertec PPF, so they own a full PPF range. So I'm kind of open to like a full detailing. I just own, we have everything in that range from Autotrues, so it's bloody awesome.
yeah, that makes sense now because I was going to ask like how the connection was with the film, but obviously they're a part of the company as well.
Yeah, so it's technically separate company, but it's one of their daughter companies or whatever they call that, whatever that word is. And we do use that film, and we use the same as their like they've got their own vinyl plotting software, which I think only one other shop in Australia actually uses, and they're down in Melbourne. Um, but yeah, definitely want to work in the future about getting the PPF out there. But Autotrues alone, like I had to employ another employee, so there's 6 of us in our shop now. So obviously, that's big targets we've got to hit each week to cover everyone's bills and wage, everything. And like Autotrues alone, I employed Tim, and he just runs Autotrues as well. Like and then if I look into doing Vertec, I'm gonna have to put at least another person on or another person, and yeah, it's more money as well. So
Yeah,
it's hard to find that happy medium at the moment.
Yep, without taking too much on. Are
Yeah,
you
definitely.
on the tools match? I know you were just showing me your boat. You did, but are you on
Yeah,
the?
I'm full on the tools. I honestly like me for a business owner. I'm a like I don't know. I wouldn't say I hate business. Like I do love business now, and I thrive off it. But me dealing with customers and quoting and stuff, and sitting on a computer, that's not me. Like I'm on the tools, and that was the other reason I bring Tim on, like because he was in sales for Harley Davidson for a very long time, so I knew he was the right fit. He's a good team leader. Um, So when I bring him across, it was just like the weight lifted off my shoulders. I'm on the tools. Like he tells me what to do on the day. He organizes my day. Like he called you originally. Like it's
Mm.
just he just does all the stuff I don't have time to do. It's freaking amazing because I love doing the PPF. I love the coding. I love training people. But yeah, I'm not someone to sit behind a computer. Definitely.
Mm. It was quite funny that call, and I said, "Oh, I'll do this pod," and he's like, "Oh, I never heard of it." And then you like, "Oh, you're the guy that does that." It's
Yeah,
like,
I'd say because I was listening to one like the day before that from Nathan from Codex. I was listening to his one. Like I was listening to it ages ago, and there was a couple of things I wanted to reference back on. Like things we spoke about in the bush wraps, because I know a lot of that was about bush wraps.
mm.
So I thought I'll jump back on and listen to it again. So yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, no, it's a small world, isn't it? And then I was only
Yeah,
messaging the other
definitely.
week about your banner. And I was like, that looks really
Yeah,
cool. And then
yeah, definitely, definitely.
I got one done. So small world, but so how big is your shop, and what's the location exactly of it?
So locations in Picton. Our shop isn't honestly that big. It's about 250 squares, like with a mezzanine up, like office upstairs as well. We actually want a full mezzanine the whole shop, just so I can maximize space with more offices. And because we're doing a lot more training now, like for instance, I just had a guy fly over, Shane from New Zealand. He flew in on Sunday night and he just left this morning. I've been training with him for the last few days on all the Autotrees ceramic coatings because he wants to be the distributor for New Zealand. It's a little bit different. So with Autotrees, so what we've done to make it easier for people, like for supply and demand, is we've put a distributor in each state. As like a stockist, I should say. Obviously they get a better price and then they will resell it, so they make it a cut as well. And they're installers, they use it. But when I was chatting to Tim, every single distributor in each state, they're so busy with detailing. It's like me. I don't have time to sell auto tris. Like I've employed Tim to do that. So when we got talking to Shane in New Zealand, he isn't a detailer. He doesn't own a detailing shop. He absolutely loves it. He's got a big passion for it. And he's a salesman. He's very good at like he eye for detail. He does know what's going on, but he doesn't own a detailing shop. So when we spoke to him about it, I think it's actually probably a better avenue for us to put someone on like that because they're actually going to spend the time, like, they're making their money on just auto trees, not their detailing as well. So it's a full-time gig for them. So they're actually going to be pushing the brand, getting back to people, and, hopefully building the brand the right way as we want it to be.
Yep. So he will be sort of, the New Zealand distributor, and you've
Yes,
sort of
under
trained
us. Yeah.
him. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, so he knows how to apply the products and stuff. And like, he only did 2 days with us. I mean, there's so much more to learn. Like he's been learning about the chemical side and everything from the background, but the actual practical, he's still, still training for 2 days, made him come over to learn to how to apply it. Because at the end of the day, you can't sell something if you don't know how to actually use it, I believe anyway.
Yeah. Do you offer much training when people do sign up or want to learn more about it?
Yeah, definitely. Like, so I do training, not just for auto trees. I train people from who just want to learn, like people on weekends, like weekend warriors who just want to learn how to look after the car better. I do a lot of wet sanding training courses. I've trained people, you know, all over Australia. Like I was in Perth not long ago, then I went to South Australia, and I was back in Queensland. I sort of done a lot, and I personally do a lot of training as well. Like, so I was in America 2 years ago at Glossop, um, at Las Vegas, and I spent a whole week with him just training, just learning their ways as well. Some stuff I don't agree on their ways, but the amount of stuff I learned over there as well, it was well worth it. I never think like I do believe I'm going to do the best job, and I'm I do believe I'm quite up there as in the skill level, but I don't believe I'm the best. There's always someone going to be better than you, so being able to learn from everyone, it's awesome, really.
Yeah. Do you find that we lack the training in Australia? I know we always speak about it here that there is not enough in,
Um,
depends if people look for it, I guess.
Yeah, the biggest thing is marketing with training. So I'm not going to name any names. There's someone I train how to detail and wet sand and stuff, and then 1 month later they're now a full-time trainer, and he's actually got a really good name for doing it, and good on him. But I just don't think he knows enough. Like you from the panel game as well. Like for me to learn how to wet sand a car, like I can show someone how to wet sand a car, but to know the actual level wet sand, like wet sanding, how far you can push paint, Um, it takes years of practice, I believe. So for a trainer, I definitely don't think there's many trainers who know exactly like. I think you have to come from a paint background to be a proper trainer in paint correction.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep. Absolutely. Um, so have you got a distributor in every state at the moment with AutoTriz or
Not in every
recently?
state. I've
Yep.
been we're quite obviously picky with it. So I've got one in South Australia, I've got one in Perth, like in WA, and I've also got one in Queensland. Um, that's sort of where we're at the moment. Obviously, we distribute everywhere else at the moment, and obviously New Zealand's taken on as well.
Yep. Oh, nice. Oh, fair little group you got going there anyway. And yeah, you're obviously bringing more installers on, which is good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yep. Um, so what's your main services these days when you were starting out and to where it's become now with finer
Um,
details?
yeah. So fine details. So there's six of us. Technically five in fine, I should say, because Tim sort of works on. He does, but he's more in the office, so it's different. But so I'll say there's five on the floor. Um, so I've got two guys who pretty much. So I sort of just float around and do everything. Just help. So I do all the PPF work, but I float around and just help check on everything else. Um, so I've got two guys who pretty much just do paint corrections and ceramic coatings and prep for PPF, and then myself will float around, check everything else. I'll do all the PPF and all the paint work. And I got the other two mainly will do like the maintenance details. So we do a lot of we try to stay clear of just the generic cleans. But I feel like if you don't do maintenance details and a big thing's pre-sale details, everyone says it's rubbish money. I mean, there's actually good money in it if you can explain to a customer how to do it properly. If you're doing a single stage paint correction too, there's no you can only get $700 to $1,200 doing each car, and you're going to knock it out in 4 to 5 hours. So it's actually quite good money, especially if you can get a junior to do it. And if you're doing a pre-sale detail, they're buying a new car most of the time. So that's a chance you can get in with a new coating, before the dealership get in, because I think that's the biggest struggle we have in Australia is they come to you and they've already got a coating on the car. They've spent $2,000. They don't want to spend another $2,000.
Mm.
So, unless they're aware of it. But for us, we're putting brochures in every single car. We explain to them. We're not pushy at all. We just explain the difference between a, our sort of coating and a dealership coating. We're not going to say ours is the best, over anyone else's brand. I'm not going to say any detailing shop's going to do a worse job, but we're definitely going to do a better job than a
A
car
dealership.
dealership.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we can all try and say that we will do a better job
yeah.
than
I think we're all sort of on the same sort of level as that, and I think we all agree with that.
I think people or customers are slowly waking up that, yeah, we are. We will do a better job. And then
Yeah,
once you do, they go, "Oh, this is better than the day I picked it up." And I'm like, "Well, of
yeah,
course it is. Well, I hope it is, at
yeah,
least." So,
yeah, definitely. And so I didn't answer really what. Yes, our services in our business, what we do. So it
mm,
hasn't really changed as in. I've always done coding and detailing. The only obviously thing now I've added a lot of is PPF. So but like I wrote a quick list down of stuff we do because I'll forget. But like obviously we do the PPF, ceramic coatings. We've got a window tinner now as well. So technically that's another stuff. We do always guard rolling, painting, touch ups, vinyl wrapping, detailing, blackouts, and yeah, a lot of training as well. So we're sort of almost like a one stop shop, really.
yeah, that's crazy. It's good though. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
very diverse. Um, how did how did you get into bush wraps? Was that your entry into PPF, like mine and a few
Um,
others?
I wouldn't say so. So I did training with Graham Doolan from PFD. He did the PFD Premier Film Design, I think it is. With Boyd over in Sydney, I did like a PPF course with him. More the fact I just wanted to like learn a bit about it, and I just wanted to see if I was interested in it. And honestly, at the start, it was a big eye opener. I was like, "Wow, this is really cool." And when you do a training course, because the templates are perfect, everything's set up. I mean, it's easy as I shouldn't say it's easy, but they've got that bonnet set 10 times. It's perfect. In the perfect climate. Nothing's going to go wrong. The soap mixture's mixed correctly. The tack's mixed. So you're like, oh wow, this is really good. And I did enjoy it, but I was quite sick at the time. I had ammonia. It was just a shit time for me for about 6 months. I had everything go wrong with me, like my appendix let go, and just one thing after. So it was just crap. So I sort of stopped and held off for a while. And then I spoke with Graham again, and he came out and did like a one-on-one training course with me for a few days at my shop. It was definitely well worth it. Like one-on-one training is always going to be better. And then he got me in contact with Maddie. I started doing some DIY kits. It got, better and better, because the first, 5 PPF jobs you do, you're like, oh, you're not really 100% happy with them. You do your best you can, but, just with the debris issues and, did you line it up properly? And then from that, I was just got into it more and more. And I only went to Queensland and I did like an advanced training course with Sammy, maybe 6 months ago, 8 months ago. And I learned so much from that. Like I thought I was good now. Wow, like it made me look like, I was a beginner again, and it was so worth it. Like just the little things I learned. And Sammy has her own techniques, how she does PPF. So yeah, it was really well worth it for sure.
Yep. Do you sort of how do you go selling bush wraps and your own PPF installs?
So I will never. So if a lead comes in as bush wraps, I'll keep it bush wraps. I'll never change it. For the respect of bush wraps, they've sent me a lead. We don't really sell a lot of ours yet because I'm so busy with auto shoes. I mean, I have rolls sitting there, and I will do it on like if I more for the fact of like most cars are like for bush wraps because we do get quite a few leads. They're going to be 79s, Prados, 200 series, etc. like that. When the cars come in, like all the Mazdas, Golfs, just like for the front end packages, when they just come in for PPF, we'll do that with our film. But yes, I keep them separate, and I keep just have them at a complete different sort of thing. Bush wraps is great value for money, and keep it at that. And our film is it's definitely at a niche market. Like it comes with a 12-year warranty, and it's got the sacrificial top layer on it, so it is obviously quite expensive to buy. But yeah, we normally use it for like when we do track packs on cars, or like we just did a Mustang not long ago, like a full PPF wrap on a car. We'll do like that, but we don't do a lot of PPF. I'd probably say maybe one car a week, like not a lot compared to some shops. We do a lot more coatings for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. Do you have your own? How does the software work with your film?
So they've got VPC, what is a PPF coding software. I'm only new to that software because I still use Suntech as well. So because I like to try everything and use everything and see what's better and best. I'm not going to say my brand's the best PPF. I mean, I love our PPF, but I've used multiple different cutting softwares. VPC, it's a bit hard to use because it doesn't have all the Australian cars in it. But it does have quite a few. But one thing they have, what not many other companies have, they've got a lot of interiors, like all the gloss black pianos in pretty much every single car. They got everything, like all the iPhones, the laptops, they got all the gimmicky stuff in it.
Mm.
Well, it's pretty cool. Because it's surprising there's actually a pretty good market for those little things as well.
Yep.
Yeah, but a lot of gloss black interiors, even like the Y62 Patrol, they do the wood grain delete. Like there's a full vinyl wrap kit in there, pre-cut, ready to go. Like a full template. So yeah, I think it's a pretty cool software. It definitely needs more Australian cars put in it. But yeah, that's yet to come, I guess.
Yep. Are you the only one using that film here?
No, I have a few shops using it. I haven't really certified any shops with it. We're not really sure. It's a bit of a grey area. I don't really know what to do with certification on the PPF yet. But we've definitely sold some rolls and sending it out to some people. I know there's a shop called Mates and Mods down in Victoria. They use it, and they also use the software. They're actually using the software and PPF for us. So yeah, just as I said, I'm not really sure where we're going to take that yet. I'm more building on auto trees at the moment, just to do one thing at a time, really.
Yep. No, that's cool. What's the film like to work with? Is it, and the clarity of it? It's obviously your the top coat on it as well.
Yeah, I definitely say it's very up there with the clarity. The top coat is unbelievable. I really, really liked it. Like I love to use it. The glue isn't as strong as some others I've used, but it's definitely not the most not less aggressive as well. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like comparing to other brands, but I'd definitely say it's like like up with the top Suntech Reaction. I'd definitely say it's pretty much on par with Suntech Reaction, like in the level of film.
Yeah.
I have used many other films as well. But yeah,
Mm.
in saying that, I'm only been PPFing for 2 years, so I don't want to say too much about the PPF.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You do a lot of what's the attraction with the street machines? You do a lot of how's that work down your area? You seem to attract a lot of them.
Yeah, so so I don't know if you've ever heard of the Filmy Fries.
No.
Not sure, like from Summonat. So I mean, out Wallandilly is a massive area for cars, and there's like because when I first started detailing shop, everyone said there's not enough money out here, there's not enough cars. I always thought bullshit. Like if you've got a 200,000 Monaro in the shed, you're gonna have your tow car, you're gonna have everything else. You're gonna have a car for your wife to keep her happy. So, um, but yeah, like the Filmy Fries cars, all the street machine cars, we do a lot of them. And honestly, it's great eye candy. It's like when you do a Lamborghini, but I feel like you don't make money on them. You spend so long on them, making sure the blower's polished perfect, pushing it around. Um, Most of the time they're a bloody nightmare, but it's cool though. Like you have them in the shop, like someone's built, put their pride and joy. They spent, $500,000 building this car, and they let you finish it. What's really cool. But we do a lot of blown cars. So it has to be at least 1 to 2 a week. And then we do a lot of Summonats cars, Motor X cars as well. What is another, cool thing. But saying that, like the last Motor X we did, we had 2 unveils. I'm paying the boys, we're doing, 20 something hours a day each day. They're tired, they're over it. By the time we pay their overtime and stuff, you look at the numbers, you really didn't make money.
Yeah.
But it looks cool on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Most of them burnout cars or they're just street cars?
Um, a bit of everything. Like out here, like everyone's right. Like people, like even the cars I sent you yesterday. Like you'll have a car with like a 454 big block in it. With a big blower out the bonnet, and like they'll be a street car. But they will do burnouts in it too. So it's a bit of everything. Like I wouldn't say many burnout cars will do. I mean, they will do burnouts, but a lot of them will, do the show and shine for the first couple of years until they've been seen a lot. Then they'll get into the burnouts really.
Yep. No, nice. And how does your product company work with your chemicals and stuff? How does that work, and what's the story there?
So products I've been playing around with before I even started my detailing shop. So when I was living at home, I had a 20-foot container, and I've just been experimenting forever, like at least 10 years. Like I started like before detailing, I had like all these little, like I had a high shine detailing and like all these little gimmicky, little things I used to make my own quick detailer sprays. Um, and it sort of evolved from that. And I've always wanted my own detailing brand. And it costs so much money to bring products in and make them, and then work out the MSDS sheets, like all that sort of stuff. No one realizes how long that takes. Um, and yeah, last year I launched FDI Detail Suppliers, um, and yeah, it's taken off really well. We don't sell a lot online, mainly only to some of the detailers, but we sell to all our customers. And I've just kept at that at the moment, just because I can't really keep up with the demand really, because it's another whole business as well. But we're sort of running into an issue where now I've got all the Auto Choose chemical range in. Now I've got two on the shelf, and it's a little bit tricky. So it's another grey area. We're not really sure what we do, but we do have a lot of stuff from FDI. Like we have our own foam cannons. Like we got them made. They're all branded, and we sell a lot of them to even other brand. Like some companies will buy 100, 200 of us. We'll send them, and then they can relabel them, and sell them as their own brand as well.
Yep.
So yeah, we do quite a lot with that as well. But our main thing is like every customer that get the car ceramic coated, they'll get a maintenance care kit. Like we make all in house. Comes with a small ceramic wash, small snow foam, a detailer, a wheel cleaner, and a glass cleaner by memory. A couple of microfibers, and directions how to use it all with a maintenance care guide and the warranty. I believe because I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna because our coatings, we started around 1,800 and go up from there. I feel like if you're spending that sort of money, what all you give them is a warranty card. That's it. So I was like, we need to do more. So with the maintenance care guide to explain how to wash the car properly, and also, just a little gift, a pack saying thank you, for using this really. And even if they put most customers probably won't ever use it, but at least we gave them something. They feel appreciated really.
Yep. Yeah, I do the same. And that sort of it's small. It's only like 100 ml bottles of stuff,
Yeah,
like a quick detailer and some shampoo. But it just gets the customers going for the coating what they've got, and then when they need
yeah,
more,
definitely.
it brings you back. They'll message you. I need some more of that spray stuff they
Yeah,
call it.
yeah, 100%. And yeah, it's a good way to get them into. They try the product. They get a little bit of it, a bit of a teaser, and they're going to come back and buy the whole range off you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And
but we
usually
do. Sorry, cut you off.
you're
But we
right.
do majority of the time when they're in there, you'll straight away you easy sell them a snow foam cannon, snow foam wash mitt. They'll end up spending another $200-300. So that's another $200-300 on that job you just did. From a $2,000 job, now it's $2,300. So it definitely adds up at the end of the week if you do that 5 to 10 times for sure.
Absolutely. Yep. No, it's good. And then when if sometimes they'll say that the coating is not doing as good, and then you say, "Have you used the maintenance kit that I gave you?" And they're
Yeah,
like, "No, I
yeah,
haven't touched it at all." And I'm like, "Well, that's why we give it to you to sort of help with your product." So
yeah. Well, we actually have a booster spray. We were going to do as DIY, but it's way too strong. I'm actually going to send you some of it just for you to try it. I do, like, not being biased again, I believe this, our maintenance 3D Matrix booster, there's nothing like it on the market. Like, it is literally like a coating in a bottle. It will leave high spots if you don't wipe it off. Um, it's insane. Like, every single shop we've given it to try, the feedback's been absolutely unreal. I'm probably gonna do some more, like, get on the Detail Australia page on Facebook, and anyone wants to try it, I'll give you a sample, and all I want is your honest feedback.
mm,
But yeah, we use that a lot on our maintenance cleans, and we sell it to a lot of installers who don't you don't have to be certified to use it, but we don't sell it to the general public. But we sell it to a lot of people who use other brands. It's just a ceramic topper, really. Like,
yeah.
it's insane.
How does how's that go on? Pretty much wipe on, wipe off.
Yeah, so simple, like one spray, it spreads like oil. It's really weird. Like, it spreads so well, but it's so easy to wipe off. Like, one spray on a panel, like on a bonnet, probably use two sprays, like spray it on and then wipe it off after about 10 to 15 seconds. And, like, you small wipe it in and around, and then you flip the cloth over and just wipe off any residue. Um, yeah, and within about 1 hour, you'll definitely see the gloss level difference and the slickness for sure.
Wow, sounds pretty cool. So it's not like a spray sealant sort of thing.
Um, it's like a spray sealant on steroids, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good
But
way of
I've had it
putting it.
on my car for at least 6 months now, and it still beads like crazy. Yeah,
Yep. No,
and
that's
that's no toppers, nothing. Like, and I don't ever really clean my car. Like, it probably wasn't even applied properly. We didn't panel prep it or anything like that first. So it's just quick slap on. Let's see what it does, and yeah, it's still going really well.
yep. No, that's cool. Oh, very nice. Yeah, no, it's good to see that you're doing like we have a lot of people on doing their own products just for their own customers, really, and
Yeah,
not.
I've heard that a lot on this podcast. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's actually really good. Yeah,
Yeah, we got the odd people like MFD. They Mirror Finish Detail. They want to push their products to the everyday people, so which is good. So, but some
yeah,
are just relying on their customers, and it's just for them, which
yeah.
I think it's a cool addition to your business. So, but yeah, obviously that I don't think not everyone would know that other side of making the chemicals is pretty hectic.
Yeah, well, like, in Australia, like, you think if someone drank that, if a child drank it or spilled it in their eye, like, and then they want to see what chemicals in it. For instance, I've been in a hospital before. I got thinners in my eye. They wanted to know exactly what was in that paint drum, and they pull up the MSDS sheets, and there's like 400 pages. They go through it all, work out, is it safe? What can they use to help prevent it? Yeah, so, and every single chemical in Australia is the exact same.
Wow,
Yeah. And if you
crazy.
don't have that and something goes wrong, yeah, you're gonna be sued.
Yeah,
So you're
yeah.
gonna be, yeah.
All right. Um, so what's the? I always ask this one now to guess. So what's the future plans of your businesses? Normally just say business,
Um,
but you've got a bit going on.
yeah. So it's a bit hard at the moment because FDI, like Final Detail, has grown a lot further than I ever expected, especially so quickly. Like, yes, we've been in it just under 7 years now, but I never really had until about a year or 2 years ago. I was just like, I'm just working. I want to see where this goes. Um, and it built up quite quickly. Now we've got multiple staff. Um, yeah. So it's kind of at its capacity. Like our shop is booked out all the time. We're back to back. We're as big as we can be in our shop. But at the stage where do we move to a bigger shop or do we stay where we are? We're comfortable, because you've moved to a bigger shop, it's more overheads, and you've got to find more staff, and then you've got to deal with staff, and you have sick days. It just goes on from there. But really, at the moment, it's more keep find the detail where it's at and focus on auto trees, and push that to a company, what is actually making it, making money. Because yes, you sell a product, but the amount of money we've put into it, the marketing, which we do lack on it quite a lot actually, which we're trying to do more. But like because I do all the signage and a lot of stuff in house in Australia, so yeah, it's quite costly. But I do believe there's a big picture at the end. But yeah, we'll get there slowly.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the marketing side. Do you advertise much, or how do you have a lot of word of mouth around your way?
I don't honestly, for finer detail, I do not advertise at all. I did one ad, and I think I lost money from it. I don't think it did anything for me. All I did was I got people messaging me for quotes, but never ever get back. Like it's just like they just click on they want a quote. You send a quote, they never get back to you. You give them a call, they don't call you back. It was just people, and they were just, I don't think we actually got legitimate work from it. If I just post a job without sponsoring it, we honestly, like, look at my Facebook. I probably only put out one job a week. We just haven't had the time to do much marketing. From that alone, I will get a little bit of work from it, but yeah, most of it's word of mouth out our way for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
no, that's good. And I think when you do social media and stuff like that, I think people look at that, and that's enough as advertising for some people
Yeah,
anyway. Like unless you're
yeah.
desperate for work, yeah,
Honestly, what I've learned these days, the best social media, the best post is like a Facebook or Instagram, like a reel. A reel will get you more work than a post. Like even like these silly reels. I have a guy who comes to my shop who's quite wealthy, and he's only young. He's only 21, and he makes a mozza just doing reels and stuff like that. And he showed me, and I did a simple reel with his car, just pouring water on the car after we coated it. Like it was only like a 15-second video. I got at least 20 jobs out of that. And I was like, it was such a silly video, but it's what people want to see now. Like everyone's on TikTok and those sort of videos, and it's simple, big, bold words, really get you the work. It's really weird.
mm. Yeah. I've been experimenting with that ever since talking to Ash from Riverside. He's really awesome at it, so it's gave me some
Yeah,
inspiration to try
yeah.
and pick my game up in that game. So in that space, so that's really good. So, is there many other details around your way? You got any?
Um, it's just like not within probably 40 minutes. So we do have, of course, like a few backyard detailers, um, and we do have one who's just opened up in a storage shed around the corner from us. But I'd really say we're the only, professional trained detailing shop in the area for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But the backyard guys, I mean, good on them. I mean, everyone wants to have a crack, make money. I'm not gonna bag on them as long as they do the right thing. Um, it's more, you know, the biggest issue we have around here I see lately is people will buy, say, like I saw one the other day, for instance, I saw Geon. This guy's doing a free warranty Geon coating. I'm like, what Geon coating's free is? I messaged a mate who uses it. Anyway, he's selling a Geon coating for free warranty for 450, full paint correction coating on your car, $450 with free Geon coating. So I never, say much. I actually personally messaged the guy, not only, not so anyone could see, just, say to chat him. I said, listen, stop lying to people, do your job correctly, because you're going to get bitten. And he didn't care, he didn't want to know about it, anything, whatever. Had an argument with me, whatever, I didn't care. I'm just letting you know. From that, the amount of bad reviews I've seen from this guy in the last 2 weeks is unbelievable. Ripping people off. It's just, it's that's the only thing I hate about backyard detailers is like, because we all started somewhere. I totally understand that, but if you're going to do that, okay, charge accordingly for what you're doing, but don't, tell the customer you're certified with, a brand and you're actually not.
Yep.
And that's why with Autotrees. So Autotrees has 2 DIY coatings. I will never ever sell them as DIY in Australia, because, like, for instance, this guy, because people can say they're warranting it, they're certified when they're absolutely not.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
it makes a mock of the actual brand of, say,
Yeah,
Geon, and I use that,
yeah,
and
like
it's probably just
yeah,
a DIY coding from them that
yeah.
he can get
That's
off.
what I messaged my mate. Like I said, mate, like your mate's filthy about it because he's a Geon certified detailer,
Yeah,
and he I know he rang someone, I forget who it was about it, and they said, well, we can't really do anything about it because he's using the DIY stuff,
yeah,
even though he's marketing it as something else.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty bad. Yeah,
yeah,
no, he
definitely.
wouldn't be the only one, and they'd be using all other brands and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Yeah, it makes it hard. So, but yeah, um, I always ask this one: what could we improve in the industry? Probably that.
pretty much, pretty much exactly what I just said. Yeah,
Yeah.
stop backyard detailers. The well, one would be stop a backyard detailer. Like I feel like we need to have a certification in Australia for detailing. It is like if you're a professional detailer and the level of skill we do, I just wish there was like some certification or a course. Like really like me looking at the panel and paint trade, I wouldn't say it would need to be a 4 year course, but if we could do like a 2 year traineeship course, like I have heard a little things about it, but I actually, you know, it would be awesome if you actually legally had to have, like if you're a panel shop, you have to have a license. If you had the same in the detailing industry, it would be massive. Like I think it would get rid of all the people who are ripping people off. Backyard people, fair enough, they could still have it, but they're just going to be the requirements. They're actually trained, they're certified, they know what they're doing. I would say that's probably the biggest thing in Australia. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
How did you go with it? Yeah, because we spoke about the hiring in the last couple of episodes. How did you go with hiring your guys? Was it hard work?
Um, Honestly, I don't know. Staff is, I think, an issue in a lot of shops. I'm not going to sit here and say, my staff's perfect. I pull my hair out every day. We have a lot of chats. We have a lot of team meetings. Try and work out why people aren't happy. It's very hard to keep all staff happy, no matter how much you pay them. I don't think it's anything to do with money. It's whether they enjoy their job, they enjoy cars. Um, but honestly, because Tim's been with me now for about 4 months, if we hire anyone, I let Tim do it. He's a real people's person. He's been through a million people. He knows exactly what questions to ask. And he asks the most weirdest questions. And I think, what are you asking that? And then you think about it, sit back after, you go, oh yeah, you know. And I think it's more on how the person's going to be too. Like when I was at Bush Trucks, we learned a lot about, are you I forget what it's called, where you're like an A, B, C, or D. Um, yeah, I forget what it's called, but you just need to find someone who fits into your sort of culture as well. Even if you're good, I don't, you could be the best person in the world, but if you let the rest of the team, you're negative, I'm not interested
Yeah,
for sure.
you
Yeah,
bring everyone else down like
yeah,
we
hundred
spoke about.
percent. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, bad
No,
energy in the shop.
yeah, absolutely. So, no, that's really good. So, oh, you got a fair bit going on. So,
Yeah, definitely,
yeah,
always.
no, it's really cool. Um, we'll jump into the 6 stage questions. So, this one might take you back. Can you remember your first ever detailing job?
I do actually remember my first ever detailing job. So because I was a panel beater painter, and I only like I left that. So quick backstory: I left that. I got a $20,000 loan, so I had some money to back pay me until I started my business. In case it took a little while, which I'm glad I did. And I also had a business partner for the first year, but he's now moved on, and yeah, that's all okay. But the first ever detailing job I did was a Bronco at my parents' house. It was on a weekend with my partner. It was just a nightmare of a job. I remember it. Obviously, we had no idea what to quote, underquoted it, started pressure washing it, pressure washer broke, started buffing it, buff broke. This job ended up being like a 4 day job. I'm having and lucky I finished up with work because I'm a big believer. I've never ever had a sick day in my life. Even if I leave a job, I'm still got 2 weeks. I wouldn't have a sick day to burn. I'm not like that. Um, so it ended up taking it's quite some time to finish this car. But I learned so much from it. Yeah, at the end the owner was his second car, so he was all right. But it's taking me right back, yeah, for sure.
Did you want to quit then and there?
Um, it was just one of those my parents' house. It's not set up. I was doing it outside. I'm trying to paint correct the car, like not a full paint correction, but semi paint correct it. Because I was used to having when I was in the paint shop, I'm used to having everything there ready to go. And I was like, oh shit, I don't have this, and I run to Super Cheap Auto and buy $30 wheel cleaner, what's 500 mils and does absolutely nothing. You know, so this, I think the job was $450 by memory, and I reckon I would have spent probably $1,500 to get this car done. Like it was just stupid, but yeah, definitely a big learning curve, and yeah, an eye opener for sure.
Oh, we all start somewhere, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Favorite polisher?
I'd probably say the new Roops rotary. I mean, I'm a bit.
Hmm.
I honestly like. It depends what I'm doing. So the Roops rotary, I do a lot of rotary cutting as I'm painter, so we do a lot of wet sanding. Um, and honestly, and for finishing off in DA, I will go a Shine Mate over a Roops all day. People like think it's funny because it's half the price, but a Shine Mate DA, you can slow it right down. When you're dealing with fussy paint, I would rather a Shine Mate all day. Like I would have probably 15 Roops and probably 15 Shine Mates, one on each side of the shop. Because I train with Shine Mates most of the time.
Yep.
Because most of the time they want to buy, paint like a buff, and it's harder for someone starting off to buy Roops because obviously they're quite expensive. Um, but yeah, Roops are definitely, they're not as good as they used to be. Like they don't last. Like I've got at least one or two sent away, every couple of weeks, getting new brushes, or the cord's broken, or yeah, something on them for sure.
Mm.
I'd definitely say the new Roops. I think it's a Mark III, the new ones. The rotary is, yeah, that's actually a really nice buff. Yeah.
Yeah, right. No, that's good. Well, yeah, I've heard a bit about the Shine Mates, and I've even recommended it. Yeah, young guys starting out. That's
Yeah,
definitely
definitely. Like you jump on Wax, you buy a couple of their buff pads. You can buy a setup for like $500-600, and like yeah, they I would have had my Shine Mates. I mean, we don't use them day in day out because we mainly use Roops, but unless we're doing fussy paint. But I've still would have had my Shine Mates for at least 5 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Use much well, yeah, the cordless stuff. Have you got much Shine Mate cordless stuff or not?
I've got the Shine Mate cordless. Um, it's to me that a cordless is never going to be as good as electric. Especially if you're sitting there cutting a car for a long time. We'll normally use a cordless if we're going to quickly buff something out that's fine. If someone scratched the car, or you just got to polish something up, or if someone wants to see how their paint's going to come up, like if it's a sales technique, we're going to mask a section of the car, we're going to buff it, and we're going to do it out the front or just somewhere, it's just quick and easy. We'll use the DA cordless, but yeah, they don't, like even the Shine Mates, they say they last, I think it's 4 hours something. I reckon we wouldn't get 15 minutes out of it now. And that's within 6 months. Yeah. It just drops, like you're just changing batteries consistently.
Oh wow. Yep.
Yeah.
You got something to work on there.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have a dream car that you always
Um,
wanted, or have you already got something? Or
I mean, I'm not into original cars. Like, I actually just sold my S15 drift car last week, actually, and I love that car. But dream car would like if I was going to talk like top cars would be a Pagani. But like a car for, within the $1 million budget or under would be like a Porsche GT3. I think they're just, everyone goes Lamborghini. But to me, the shape of the Porsche, and you get them in like the bright blue, there's some really nice colors. Yeah.
yeah. What was that? I might get into it later, but what was the go with was it an actual drift car?
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
sold?
So my I literally sold it last week. So it was a S15 LS1 drift car with full remount radiator setup. So being panel beater painter, my father-in-law, a mechanical engineer, he helped me do all the back. So we had all the radiator in the boot. Yeah, LS, big high compression motor, made just over 500 horsepower, full caged. Yeah, awesome car. Absolutely loved it. It just got to the point where that car, but you do a drift event, it costs you $5,000 for a day. It just gets to the point where you're just throwing all the money away you're making. Honestly, in some ways, I regret selling that car, but I'd rather put that money into the business and then later on, invest in another car. I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of money on the tires?
Yeah. Well, really, you do one. You don't even get a lap most of the time. Like if you go Eastern Creek, you'll drive out. You do North Circuit. You're 3/4 of the way around the track, and your tires on slick already. By the time you come in, you're changing them. So you take a mate out, you come back in. There's $300 in tires if you're running semi slicks. Plus, go put another 20 liters of E85 in. That's if you don't break nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I love
Awesome fun, but yeah, very expensive.
I'm a big fan of drifting at the moment. It's good.
Oh, okay. There you go.
The American scene, yeah, I don't mind it, the FD. So it's
Yeah,
very
yeah. I've
cool.
actually got my drift car's even tattooed on me. Like, yeah, it was a big car in my life.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, awesome. Favorite detailing tool or product?
You did send this one to me.
Mm.
I'd probably say it's really hard because I don't do much actual detailing cleaning cars. Like I haven't vacuumed a car for probably 2, 3 years, even though I'm on the tools, but I normally do the paint corrections and stuff. But I'd probably definitely say the tornado gun was a big game changer to a lot of cars. Like, a lot of guys, especially if they're doing cars with sand and hair. Yeah, the tornado gun has definitely changed the industry a lot with interior detailing, I reckon, for sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, awesome. Any tip for a detailer starting out? We probably talked about
Um,
this too.
yeah, I would
Don't rip
say,
people off.
don't rip people off. Don't claim that you're certified in something you're not. Um, s- Spend the money on training for sure. Like, if you want to learn off, for sure, learn on your, parents' cars, family, friends' cars. But don't, do a car and then, tell everyone, that you can do full paint corrections because you'll get bitten and you're going to rip people off and it won't end well, really. Definitely.
Mm. Yep. You can do damage and all sorts. So.
Yeah. And we see it all the time, people like it's the biggest pet hate. Like my shop, like every single car, every single rubber has to be masked up. You know, I've had people start and they're a bit lazy and they drop it. They go, "Oh, it's all right. We'll just buff close to it." No, mask it up. I don't care how good you are, you will hit a rubber on a car. And everyone's like, "Oh, you can wipe it off." And I see that in a lot of detail shops. You can remove it with APC cleaner. Yes, you can, but it will come back. Plastic's porous. Once it's gone in there, it
Mm.
won't always come back, but you've got a massive chance it's going to come back for sure.
Yep. Sometimes that's how they come to you from the dealership.
Yeah, and I get it all the time. People buff, especially on like bull bars, and they buff it, and they've got that real furry plastic, and they've
Mm.
hit the edges of the bull bar. I'm like, I can't even clean that out. I'm gonna have to mask it up and paint it for you, to
Yeah.
try and tidy it up for you. But yeah,
Yeah. And yeah, any other interests outside of detailing?
well, drifting was a massive thing to me. Cars have been my whole life, really. But I've got 2 kids and a wife, so we've got a caravan as well. So we try to go away on weekends when we can. But yeah, I'm always a hands-on guy, so doing a lot of renos on the house at the moment. Like I'm halfway through rendering and doing a deck, and then extending the house, and yeah, so always something going on.
Yeah. Staying busy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No, awesome. So, oh, we'll might wrap it up there, but yeah, that's been good to finally get to meet you and have a chat about everything you do, especially the auto triz side, which I was interested in. And I hope if anyone else out there thinking, maybe probably get in touch with you. So,
Yeah, definitely. I said we'll definitely probably start, getting more shops on. I said I'd probably never flood the market. I can like a rough number in my head would be 50 people over whole Australia. I
yeah.
said I don't want a lot. I'm not in auto trees just to, you know, move massive numbers and because I know that will all turn to shit in the long run. Um, I just I just want a good set of detailers with a good culture. I've had a few shops interested, and I've spoken to them. If they're real arrogant, I'm not interested. Like I want us all to be a culture, kind of like how the bull shops community is. Like
Mm,
that's just amazing. Like how we all get along and like a group chat. Like, and you can say, I stuffed this up, or how can I fix this? In the detailing industry, if you put that on like a detail page on Australia, you get absolutely roasted for it. Um, yeah, like I hate reading the stuff on there. Some questions, yes, some people ask dumb questions, but they're learning out. Like they're learning, but yeah, it's just no matter what it is in Australia in detailing, I feel like you just get judged. Every shop thinks they're better than the next. And look, shops are going to be better than others. Like, I mean, I believe I'm one of the better shops, but I don't believe I'm the best. There's going to be a better shop, and there's going to be people
mm,
worse than me.
mm,
I think we should all be on the same level. But unfortunately, in Australia, I feel like that's just never going to happen.
mm. Yeah, absolutely. What's the probably never spoke about the durabilities and probably the makeup of the coatings with and all the also the installs. One or
Um,
two
yeah,
coats, or how's that
yeah.
how they work?
So we've got a few different coatings. So our base coats, we have 3 different base coats, top coats. Um, so technically we've got 5 base coats, but our main three. Um, we've got a 3 year, 7 year, and a 10 year. Um, in the 7 year we have 2 different base coats. One what one what's ultra, what flashes faster. We sell that more for the colder climate, like Hobart, the guys over in New Zealand. It's made up of the same properties, but it does have more solvent in it to flash faster. But our biggest thing now, everyone wants graphene. We do have a graphene product we move. What's a 10-year warranty? It's a dual layer product as well. You don't have to apply the top coat, but we do recommend it. Our graphene product is pretty cool compared to a lot. Like it is actually black. Like because I see a lot of graphene coatings. Like I'm always trying stuff, and I never judge anyone else's brand. I mean, you do what you want, you market how you want. But I see all these graphene coatings coming out. They're clear. Like graphene's graphite. Graphite's black.
Mm.
Like how have you made a product back clear again? Like, and so obviously there's probably graphene in it, 100%. But it's probably like 0.0.1. When I look at our graphene product, the bottle's heavier than a ceramic bottle. Like you can feel the weight difference, and you shake it, it is actually black coming out. And I'd love to compare that against other graphene coatings in the world because I would say ours is very up there, and it's not cheap. Like kits, nearly $500 plus for a kit, but you will get 2 to 3 cars out of it. But yeah, I definitely love to compare that to other brands because I find all the Autotrees range, like even the marine range as well, like they're super potent. Like they're strong, but the durability side as well is next level. I've had stuff coated in marine for now 6 years, and it's still actually working really well. And I'm really surprised in the marine range with that. Like anything with salt water, I feel like if something's in salt water for 6 months, like it's at least a year to 2 years outside. So us doing boats, we've come back in jet skis, and they're still great after 5-6 years. I would say they're perfect still. There's a watermark here and there. I'm not going to say it's perfect like a mirror still. But for that time frame, yeah, like I'm really, really impressed for sure.
Yeah. No, that's really good today. Now, always ask about the coatings and how many layers do we need to apply and stuff like that, which is good. So
Yeah, because I know a lot of people are doing a lot of single layer coatings now. They say it's quicker, but yes and no. But like our base, so our 7-year one, which honestly is my favorite. I've been using that forever, like since I started. Base layer is titanium, top layer is silicon oxide top coat. So the base layer is obviously mainly for scratches. And the scratch resistance on that coating is absolutely, insane. A little bit funny to work with, base coat you wipe on, you leave it for about 10 to 15 minutes to wipe it off, which is awesome. So you can do the whole cut once. But when the top coat is very quick, you get about 15-second flash time. So like a bonnet will break down in 4 sections. A lot of people, stand off and they go, oh, that's very fast. But when you get in the rhythm of it, like you'll do top coat in maybe 12 minutes to coat a whole car. Like it's really fast, really quick. And once you know how to use it, like I've sent samples and people don't want me to show them how to use it. They're like, oh, they're a bit arrogant about it, or they're like, oh no, because they feel like they know what they're doing, which 100% how to use other brands, but let me explain it. But now I'll try it if I have any issues. Call you. Always call me. I can't get this top coat off. It's bloody sticky. Well, do you want me to tell you how to do it now? And even the first, and you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I did that the first time. First time I tried it, I did the exact same thing. I put the base coat on. Love the base coat. Let it sit for about an hour before I put top coat on. It's like great. Put top coat on. I didn't know, like you have to wipe it off after 15 seconds, put on. About 2-3 minutes later, I got a cloth, see, did like a test to see if it was sticky. And I was like, what the hell's wrong with this? Scrub it, I couldn't get it off. And I buffing it off, messaged the guy, said, mate, this stuff's rubbish. And he goes, hold on, what did you do? And he rang me, tried it again. I was like, oh, wow. And then the slickness and how easy it was. Yeah. It was definitely amazing. But yeah, I'm going to say, yeah, I was one of those guys. I was like, no, I know what I'm doing. I'll sort it out. So yeah, had a big head about it.
Yeah, I think we've all had that. So
yeah, definitely. So
no, awesome. How can anyone reach out to you, mate?
Facebook and Instagram, or our website as well. Yeah, I'm always happy for a chat and always happy to train anyone on any level, even if they use a different brand and they want to learn, like say if a G Technique installer and they wanted to learn more skill. I'm more than happy to teach them with that. I'm not going to go, oh no, you can't, because I use Autotriz. It doesn't worry me at all. I love teaching people. Of course, I've got to charge for it, but try and be quite fair with it. But I love training people and seeing their skill level get to a level where I think it should be in Australia, because so many people I see coat cars. I'm like, did you really just coat over that? Like, it's just, yeah. it's pretty shit, really, unfortunately.
Yep. Yeah, no, a little bit of training doesn't help, so it can go a long way
Yeah,
too.
exactly. And as I said, we can all learn off each other. Like I listen to this podcast all the time, and the amount of stuff I learn, I'm like, oh wow, like even some simple stuff, you just don't think about it. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm the same. I've learned so much since I started this. So, and I've never claimed to be an expert or anything. I just, wanted to start it for everyone else. So, and I've learned so
Yeah,
much myself off you
yeah.
guys. So
No, that's awesome.
it's been
Yeah,
really good. So, we'll definitely wrap it up. But yeah, thanks for coming on and making the time and effort. So, which is awesome.
yeah, no problem at all.
Nah,
All
so
good.
so thanks everyone for listening. And if you want to reach out to Jack, feel free. So he's always up for a chat, which is really good. So, and all the best with Auto Triz and all
Yeah,
the
thank you,
other
mate.
little
Really
bits and
appreciate it.
pieces you got going on. So, awesome to have you on. So, all right, guys, we'll wrap it up and we'll talk soon. Thank you.
That was another episode of the Detailing Down Under podcast. Subscribe now for everything auto detailing in Australia.